Ever just sat there staring at a blank screen, totally frozen by writer's block? Like, wouldn't it be amazing if there was a way to just automate the heavy lifting of fiction plotting? What if you could literally build a machine that feeds you structurally sound, legally safe plot ideas on command, specifically geared for Kindle Direct Publishing or KDP? Well, you are definitely in the right place. Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to translate some absolute gold from a tutorial by Charles Terrence Harper into a step-by-step builder's blueprint. By the time we wrap up, you'll know exactly how to leverage two incredibly powerful AI tools, NotebookLM and Gemini, to construct your very own automated KDP plot generator from scratch. All right, let's dive right into this. Here's our game plan. We're building this in 5 clear phases. First, sourcing public domain material. Then, curating and importing sources. Next, configuring the AI engine. Then, we're customizing the user interface. And finally, testing your plot generator. Let's kick things off with phase 1, sourcing public domain material. So we start by dropping a plain language prompt into Gemini to fuel our research. And what's really fascinating here is how Gemini actively helps you refine it. When you ask it to improve your initial prompt, it bounces back with these amazing clarifying questions to hone the search. It'll ask, hey, do you want the actual text or just an analysis? Do you want summaries, annotated bibliography, semantic substitutes? You absolutely want to answer yes to these to give your future plot generator the best context possible. Now, the absolutely crucial point here is how you answer Gemini's question about wanting the actual text. You have to specify that you strictly want public domain text. Why? Well, if you're planning to eventually sell access to this app or publish these plots on KDP, you need airtight legal rights, right? Public domain materials are free from copyright restrictions, which gives you the perfect, legally safe foundation for a commercial product. With our prompt totally dialed in, we drop it right into NotebookLM's deep research bar. And that brings us to phase 2, curating and importing. NotebookLM is going to spit out a comprehensive report of potential texts. But listen, we do not just blindly accept everything. We've got a strict filtering rule here. You've got to manually scroll through that deep research report and review the uncited sources. If a source is not a direct link to Project Gutenberg, you take it out, period. So it's basically a simple 1, 2, 3 assembly process. First, review that deep research report. Second, ruthlessly filter out those non-Gutenberg links. And third, import the surviving, fully vetted public domain sources directly into your NotebookLM. Boom, you've now securely built a legal, rights-free database to act as the raw fuel for your plotting engine. Moving right along to phase 3, configuring the AI engine. We've got the fuel, now let's build the brain. For this, we're hopping back over to Gemini to write the master instructions. These tell NotebookLM exactly how to behave as a plot generator. After drafting your goals, you need to demand 3 specific outputs from Gemini: configuration instructions, a welcome message customization, and an image generation prompt. We're going to use every single one of these to shape the final product. You'll take that first piece, the configuration instructions, and paste it into the custom button area inside NotebookLM settings. Honestly, this is where the real magic happens. By pasting the master instructions here, they stay completely proprietary and hidden from your end user. The customer using your app will never see the prompts that make it tick, meaning your intellectual property is totally protected. All right, phase 4, customizing the user interface. Time to polish up the exterior. If you look at the default welcome note in NotebookLM, Harper points out that it really lacks visual contrast. It just kind of looks flat, not like a premium app. So you literally just take a screenshot of that default note, feed it back into Gemini, and ask it to rewrite the welcome customization using Markdown formatting. This simple trick transforms a boring block of text into a visually clean, engaging, professional interface. To wrap up the look and feel, it's just 3 quick tweaks. First, paste that new Markdown formatted custom summary into the welcome note. Second, change that generic untitled notebook name to something catchy. And third, grab that image prompt Gemini gave you, run it through an image generator, and slap the resulting image on as your notebook's cover. Your machine is officially assembled and looking incredibly sharp. Which brings us to the final step, phase 5, testing your plot generator. Let's take this baby for a test drive. The user experience kicks off with just a beautifully simple trigger command. Because of how we set up those hidden instructions earlier, the user is told to just type the word hello into the chat to wake up the plotting process. That's literally it. No crazy coding required on their end. Once they type hello, it starts this awesome interactive back and forth.
The AI asks a setup question, the user picks a plot element, and the generator hands over structural advice drawing directly from that pristine public domain database. And they just iterate rapidly. If the user is stuck on one highly specific scene, they just tell the AI and it bounces right back, unblocking their fiction, scene by scene. It's a total game changer.
And here is the so what of it all. Because you strictly used public domain fuel and kept those master instructions hidden, you don't just have a neat little personal tool, you possess a proprietary asset that is actually ready for market. You can totally further customize this by adding your own studio assets or tweaking the hidden configurations to make the plots perfectly tailored for the KDP market. So, you've got the whole blueprint now. You know exactly how to source the rights-free data, configure the hidden AI brain, and polish up the user interface. The only thing left to figure out is your specific niche. So, what kind of fiction generator are you going to build first? Is it going to be romance, a gritty thriller, maybe sci-fi? Take this step-by-step process, apply it today, and you'll seriously never have to stare at a blank page again. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and happy building!